Right, good morning everyone. Farmer Rob here from Cannonall Farm, and we've got a ewe who's doing a great job. She's given birth successfully to her first lamb. She's pushed it out, and it's doing really nicely. So I'm just watching from a distance, but we've got a photo bombing sheep who has decided that she wants her moment in the spotlight. So I'm just going to move around and see if I can get a view of what I'll come round here and position myself just out of the way so as not to bother it, and we'll just watch and hopefully let nature take its course, because she's pushed that one out with some aplomb, with no difficulty at all. We've got David and Hannah on hand if needs be, but hopefully we won't need that. But we all know, with bitter regret, to what the jeopardies of lambing are. You know, this time last week, I think it was, we lost a lamb with a natural birth, what we thought was going to be a natural birth, but there's a leg back. So we are watching. I think the advantage here is these are twins, and they're not overly big. It's nice size. Gives you more chance to intervene and to manipulate and to make adjustments if required. Keep your phone handy, Dave. Keep your phone handy. Yeah. So David's just nipped to get some straw. I've got Hannah with me, Hannah Banana, and if needs be, we'll jump in and help. She's contracting again now, but she's doing a great job cleaning up the lamb that's already been born, and she's a first-time mum. So that's always interesting, but they're just a nice size, them lambs, aren't they? They're exactly what you'd want. Really viable, really robust. Head were up as soon as it hit the floor, and it, you know, just looks like one that we've got a good chance of success with. But here we go. She's pushing again. So I think we'll know fairly soon. That's a good push. She's really going for it. So what we'll do, if nothing appears fairly quickly, I will have a look, because there's something appearing fairly quickly. I can see a couple of feet. I would imagine next push it might be out. Here we go. Here we come. I've seen some legs. Oh, there's a leg. There's another leg. Look at that. Absolutely cracking. So we'll just make sure it's breathing. There it is. To be honest, there's no need to interfere. Just let Mum do the job. Straight to the nostrils. Can you see that? Straight to the nostrils to clear the airways. It's shaking its head. And it's a distinctly different colour to the first one, isn't it? But it don't matter. As long as it's fitting well, that's all that matters. So how magical was that? A live birth, a thoroughly natural birth, slipped out like a bar of soap, and that's what you want. Sharon says happy Easter to you, Sharon. What a lovely way to celebrate it with a grand new lamb. So what I might do, or the first lamb might come across to the other one actually. We could just do with being together so that she can share affection between the two. So, so that's exactly how you want it to happen. It's not exactly how it always happens. You know, I had a bit of a tricky one yesterday. We had a set of quads born. Now the quads, which is 4, are now 3, but that's not bad news. That's really good news because Kate last night managed to foster one onto a single. So the quads are 3, but the 4th quad is prospering on a new mum. No one's the wiser. And what I'll do, I'll just bring the first lamb to the second lamb, and then hold on, flower. So for a first time mum to pop those out was pretty remarkable. Come on, little one. As my back creaks with pain. There we are. So there we are. Maybe I'll bring the second one to the first one. Because I suppose that is the place she gave birth, so it's the place that she's most attracted to. Come on, little one. Slide him across. There we are. So she can share her affections equally there now. So it's exactly what we want to see, isn't it? Fantastic effort from Mum, all by herself. The only thing we've had to do is move them together to make sure she can lick them equally. 1,700 people watching. Please give us a share. Excuse me. If you want to spread new lambs onto your Facebook feed. Yvonne said, what a wonderful way to start our Easter Sunday. Absolutely. Caroline says, love watching a live birth. Congratulations, Mummy Sheep. And Janet says, poor you, Rob. It's all right. Once I get going, I'll be all right. Victoria says, how cute the white one had a black spot on its forehead and the black one had a white spot. That genetics incredible. You know, that why do we all look like we look, and who do we take after? And yeah, it's all amazing stuff. So Sharon says, hi, Rob. Yvonne thinks ebony and ivory. And Amanda says, here at the airport in the lounge watching babies being born. How lovely. So is Amanda White off on your jollies? Hope so. Hope you have a great time. Or maybe you're coming back. Jordan says, randomly joined. How's it going? It's going smashingly, thank you. Amanda sent 50 stars, thank you. Karen says, morning, Rob. Wishing everyone a happy Easter. And the same to you, Karen. Hope you're having a great Easter break. Shirley says, I thought that. Linda says, good morning, Rob. Good morning to you. And Amy says, new life on Easter Sunday. Jane Waddington says, beautiful sight. It is. So I'm just looking at what we've got left to laminate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, and I think there'll be 2 or 3 of them not in lamb. So we're getting down to latter stages now, but it's timed perfectly, really, isn't it? Kids go back. We go back Tuesday, but we'll still have a few to lamb then. Anyone coming next week? Janet says, morning, Rob. Is it unusual to have 4? It is. You'd have to put it in the unusual category. I'd say, you know, certainly less than 1%. A lot less, I'd say. So yeah, we had a bit of a game. I'll show you in a minute. She's still got 3 with her. Kate successfully fostered one on last night. And they are the size of twins. They're absolutely champions. She's undoubtedly the star sheep of the year. To feed 4 lambs like that to a size that's really pleasing and really, you know, make them so viable. They're so easy to rear. Normally, if you've got quads, you're thinking, will they make it? Won't they make it? That they're normally, without being awful, nothing but trouble. You know, quads equals trouble. It's not what you want. It can often spell disaster. KK says, does the quad have a purple spot? Yes, and I noticed it as I started to lamb her. She got a purple spot on her tail, but she got another one as well too. And I thought, oh gosh, this is the quad. Yeah. Welsh schools have another week, says Alison. If you're from Wales, come on down. We've still got sheep to lamb. Rose says happy Easter to all at Cannon Hall Farm. The same to you. And Joanne says, was that the first set of quads this year? And do you get many? I think we had 2 lots. Ellen sent 250 stars, thank you. I think we had 2 lots. There's no need to move them yet, Dave. She's just doing a really nice job. She's just licking them and drying them, and you could dip them. And we'll need a heat bulb, Dave, not a. You know, we'll need a pen with a heat lamp to dry them off. Right, would you like to lay naked? There's like a cheeky wind blowing in today. It's not that warm. Yvonne says, just finish your book. You look like your granddad, Charlie Rob. I know my dad says that, actually. Johnny Burton says, morning all. And Gwen says, good morning, Rob. Happy Easter to all.
There's 2 tiny ones, which are quads, and unless you want me to do those over there.
2 tiny ones. Yeah, move that one in the corner, I think, Dave. Yeah, she's got to eat lamp, hasn't she? So David's just dipping the navels. Linda's going to miss the lambing every morning. John Dennis says, happy Easter to everyone at Cannon Hall Farm. Natural birth, Hannah. It was nice. Jean says, morning, Rob and Dave. Leanne Rogers says, good morning, Dave. And Sue O'Brien says the same. So the first one's sort of climbing to its feet, isn't it? Sheila says, Sunderland and Durham schools have another week's holiday. That's interesting. Who else is off? What areas are off next week? Please let us know. It'll give us an indication on how busy we can expect to be, because, you know, Sunderland and Durham's not that far away. I would imagine we might attract 1 or 2 down from that neck of the woods. Jenny, is there a third on the way? There isn't. Maureen Monk says, morning, Farmer Rob. Were you surprised with the 4 lambs? Love my morning update. I was and I wasn't, because I noticed as I started to lamb her, or Hannah lambed the first, we noticed that she got 2 spots on her tail, so that meant that she was scanned for quads. So I thought, oh heck, this could be interesting. But the first one was a good size, and I thought, well, that's encouraging. And yeah, then Hannah put her hand in for the second one. She says, I've never felt anything like it. So I had a feel, and nature and you know, animals are incredible, aren't they? Because of the size of the 4 lambs, we'd fed her well. She'd made a uterus into the most cavernous, unusually shaped thing that I've ever seen in all my years of lambing. It was like I could only describe it as a series of caves, like a labyrinth. And in each cave there was a lamb, and you just got to work your way around. Really, obviously, you're dealing with something that's so important that you're working your way around so carefully, and drawing the lamb out. And the only way to draw them forward is to grip the head. Only by moving, getting the head to come through, can the rest of the body definitely follow. Because if you pull the legs, you have a fair chance of disturbing the cord, causing problems, you know, fatalities potentially. Stockton and Tees are off for another week, thank you, Leslie. So, yeah. So, we, what we did, we drew them forward one at a time. Do that again, Hannah. Oh, so good. Right, let's have a bleat off, you two.
See, I think mine sounds more like a sheep than a lamb.
Well, I'm going to let the viewers decide. Oh dear. Well, it certainly had the desired effect. I think that's how to confuse a sheep in one easy lesson. I'm just doing the job. David gave a 0 to 100 significant distress call. There we go. It's done the job. Penned her up. 10 for the pen. So yeah, let's talk to Hannah. Hannah, yesterday you delivered the first.
Yeah.
And it was tight, wasn't it? It was a tight delivery, but one fairly regulation.
Yeah.
Right? And then you put your hand in to feel the second, and
It's good. I couldn't feel anything really.
it was just a cavern.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a cavern.
I couldn't go in.
And Anna says, have a feel at that. I'm not sure what's going on. She's fancying a bucket of crisps. She's a bit disappointed to find that.
She'll get a snap.
I don't know what she's doing. Yeah. You grab that bucket, Henry, if you don't mind. Thank you. So I put my hand in, and like I said, it was like a labyrinth of caves. And we managed to draw the second lamb out. Good size, really good size, actually.
They're all really good sizes.
Yeah. And then the third we got again, didn't we?
That was one leg forward, one leg back.
Oh, that's right. We got it with a leg back. Good memory.
And then the fourth one we thought was free.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
We couldn't find it, could we?
No. We had to stand up.
So the only way we could find the fourth was to stand her up and just gently feel underneath. And there was obviously a lamb there, so I went back in again. Literally right to my armpit, which is...
It worked.
It sounds awful.
Yeah, it does.
But it was the only way to get it out, and delivered the fourth. So we'll have a look at those in a moment. So the first lamb stood up, the second one won't be far behind it. We need to milk her, don't we?
Yeah. I'll go around tubing and I'll do her.
Yeah. Okay. Look. Two nice lambs next door. They're pretty. Lorna's saying good morning, Hannah. I'm sure Hannah says it back. That's a ewe that's taken a bit of time to come into her milk, but she's there now. Or she's nearly there now. This is one of the last of the pedigrees to lamb. She's had a nice lamb. Under there, it's in its kennel. Seen it feeding this morning. So that's champion. And then we've got a delicate little soul in there. That's a single. Then we've got these robust quads, which are now triplets, but they're only triplets because Kate fostered one onto to a single last night. So just look at the size of them. You know, she's a superstar ewe. We've got her on antibiotics, pain relief, much corner she can eat. You know, building up gradually. We'll definitely, you know, treat her very well, and hopefully, you know, she will rear 2. She won't rear 3. Amy says, our kids are back in school Tuesday in Manchester and we are coming Friday to supper club. I'm going to treat myself to a gelato. Wow, excellent. Jill says, happy Easter, Rob and all. Thank you, and same to you. Margaret says, good morning, Rob. Happy Easter. So yeah, so that quad, now triplet, is feeding lustily. 2,000 people watching. Thank you very much for your interest. And Catherine says, happy Easter everyone from Drummonds, Tennessee. Fabulous, isn't it? Incredible that literally you can be worldwide in the blink of an eye. So yeah, truly incredible. Anne says, today is my 5th year anniversary of being a supporter. Going on to my 6th year tomorrow. Love being a supporter, so you must have been one of the originals. Thank you. That's Anne Alcock. Thank you for all the lives that you do. Absolutely our pleasure. Abby says, has the triplet ladies had hers? I think, do you mean the Dutch spotted one? She hasn't. Sheila says, what gender are the new twins, Rob? Ebony and Ivory. Great names. We'll have a look. When David comes back, we'll see if he can just help Hannah to milk them. He's just gone past it, I don't know if he's stopping or not. He's dropping some straw in. See if I can attract his attention. And then we can work out what sex they are. Can you milk them, Dave? Can you help Hannah milk them? Can you help Hannah milk her? I'm whistling Ebony and Ivory now. Where's Hannah gone? Oh, she's here. Yeah. There's a fair chance it'll be thick stuff.
What she's got.
It might just need letting down. Anyway, see what she's. Just hold it. Just wait for Hannah, Dave. You just hold it for him. We'll probably just use a bit of that just to let it down a bit. I can pass you that though. Right, Julie says, happy Easter all at Canal Farm. Called yesterday for lunch. Good food as always. Also tried a lemon gelato. It was amazing. Yep. Jodie thinks she prefers the firstborn to second. I think she'll be fine with both. Paul Mack will want his cut from that whistling, says Sharon. Yeah, better be careful, haven't I? And Julian says, hi to Barry Stones. Doris says, I am too a fifth-year supporter. I never miss a broadcast. Cannon Farm is my happy place. Wonderful. And it's careful, Dave. Right, we'll get some of your milk. It's been absolutely our pleasure to meet so many people who feel that way. Well, yeah, it'd be a start, that, definitely.
You do the pouring.
Yeah, so many people regard Cannon Farm as the happy place, and it's a lovely way to think. It's a lovely thing to think, and we're humbled that people regard our little farm in Barnsley in that way. Christine says, how fast have 5 years gone? Do you feel that, David? Or does it feel like another lifetime?
Is this from lockdown?
Yeah, what do you think, Hannah? How was lockdown for you? What did you do?
I was very young at lockdown.
Well, you would be, wouldn't you? Because you're very young now.
Yeah, I think I was just in year 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you like? Were you doing homeschooling and stuff?
Yeah.
So you're just basically riding your horse all day? So you were riding your horse all day, Anna, instead of learning anything?
Yeah, I was at the yard all day.
Your maths didn't do very well, but your rising trot came on a tree.
Yeah, basically. But I passed everything, so...
Oh, well done.
It obviously didn't do too bad.
No.
Online.
So what was it like online? Did you see? Was like your teacher at the head of the Zoom call or something? Yeah.
And then we all like to have his cameras on and stuff like that, so...
And what if you turn your camera off? You say, I'm just going to the toilet, sir.
Basically. And then, it's because at the start we all kind of like turned it on and then just like disappeared.
And did he say? Did the teacher say, such and such? I can't see you.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be there.
It's like when I did my speed awareness course. The one bloke kept turning his camera off, and bloke, he started getting annoyed with him. He didn't engage properly with the process. He was like, he could see he wasn't very happy to be having to do it.
You a speeder?
Yeah.
You what?
I got done for speeding.
I've done.
Have you?
Yeah.
My wife got done. She was doing 32 in a
And
32 miles an hour. That's pretty.
I found it very useful, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, this course, and now hopefully be less likely to speed now. I think it's about concentration as much as anything.
I think it's being aware of you know what? When I'm coming into a village, you see the light columns.
Yeah.
You know you got to slow down.
Yeah.
Wendy's been a supporter for 5 years as well, but has lost a long-term badge. Oh no, that is nothing to do with us, Wendy. Sue Holloway's 5 years for me too. Thank you to everyone who's been a supporter for however long you've been one. We very much appreciate your commitment. And through lockdown, it was yeah, she's keen, isn't she? It was literally it literally kept the place going. That and the farm shop. We couldn't have done it otherwise. So that's a successful little arrival. Were they boys or girls? Tups of lambs, tups of ewes. Yeah, we had a few people asking that sort. And I'm keen to answer questions wherever we can.
Let me answer for one of them.
Which one?
The black one.
What is it? The white one's a girl as well.
2 girls, lovely. Ebony and Ivory. Let's hope that they live together in perfect harmony.
The sun out of that room.
Yeah, but
Probably won't catch on.
no. I found some shoes of a small child. Who do they belong to? Is it Cinderella, I asked myself.
Has she lost one of her slippers?
You do look a lot smaller than what my feet actually.
Says to Anna this morning, says, some small child has left their shoes here. And she says, they're Crocs.
Are they Nellies?
I think Nellie's as big as that.
Right.
So Hannah has got small feet.
I've got you a bit of straw in that pen over there.
Yeah.
Because that was the only one that looks like, and then I put a bit extra there to carry for anything that you need.
Well, pens all need it, don't they?
So, give me a ring if you need anything.
Well, I tell you now, Dave, if there's anything needs it.
Well, there's so much straw in some of these pens, we can use some from the outside to bend the inside.
These need some, because you've got 9 pens here. So a couple of squares for them pens.
Are you sure you want 2 squares?
2, yeah, I don't think it'd be
2 squares in there?
Yeah, and we'll just do them 9 pens with them.
That pen, Rob, he's got mounds of straw out.
I know.
We'll pick that up and put it in. And I put that in over there for you.
So you've a bit in there for them pens. 2 for that one will do. I don't think anything else is a problem.
So you can carry it up.
Yeah. You know this communal one, Dave?
Yeah.
I don't think a couple of dirt in there. This.
You want me to just put spreader bale in?
No, two will do in there. I'll shake it out myself. They're fine. And the horse is fine, Dave. The horse has got enough for a week. Haven't you, Flower? So, let's have a look at Sapphire and Yorkshire Rose. Yorkshire Rose is what we say in Barnsley, ligged out. Ligged out means laid down. Hello, Flower. Hello. And she's having a little Sunday rest. Teresa says, I worked through lockdown in a care home. Terrible time. Lost 11 residents to COVID in 1 week. God love them. And that's Teresa Hayes. And I think Teresa and people like her were the absolute heroes of lockdown. You know, it wasn't just the NHS who went to work and put themselves in harm's way. The people who looked after other people's loved ones in care homes were absolute heroes as well, without a doubt. You know, there were so many people, weren't there? Just, you know, if you worked in a supermarket, you were going and putting your face in front of others, so that they could have buy the tea, weren't you? There were loads of people who went above and beyond in that really, really challenging time. So speaking of really challenging times, that girl, I can't wait for her to land. For whatever reason, she don't get on with it. I just hope that she gets over the line successfully and that we end up with a really positive outcome there. Misty Schaffer says, good morning and happy Easter from the United States. Good morning to you, Misty. And Victoria says, when will Sapphire and Yorkshire Rose be going out? Cannot wait to see them out on the grass. Well, they were out, they've been out, but we've got young lambs in the beech tree field at the moment. So I think what we'll do this week is possibly move them down to the bottom of the farm so they can go out in the middle paddock where the oak tree is, and probably do it that way. Irene Walker, with you bringing lives has kept me going, as I lost my husband in 2019. Thank you so much. I have enjoyed seeing all the animals over the last few years. Happy days. Well, that's lovely. That's from Irene Walker. Sending love and best wishes, Irene. Shirley says, I've been visiting since 1989, and wow, sure have seen some change in the farm. But the Nicholson family have stayed grounded, definitely have, and humble all the time. Thank you for the joy. That's a lovely thing to say. Thank you so much to everyone who's sending, nice sentiments at this special time of year. Jenny Bateman, everyone forgets the work that prison officers did during lockdown. Well, I'm not forgetting it. I've been reminded of it by you, and I think there are so many heroes, aren't there? So many people who, and it must have been tough because there were literally people of my age who, with no particular serious medical problems, who were slipping into comas and never waking up. It was the most awful, challenging time. So, anyway, we've got an ever burgeoning lamb creche. So we've got 3 pens here of little beauties, and it's so important. Every day these need bedding down. That bedding now is ready for freshening up. They need fresh straw every day, particularly in these pens. These are vulnerable animals. Where I'll make sure these get bedded down. I'll do that myself as soon as I finish talking to you folks. So these are pretty. They've been born this morning, and they really need the heat lamp more than the ones next door. So I think we'll climb in there and pass that over. Right, this is one of the quads. She's had a single, I'm guessing, because she's marked as a single, but she's got 2. Kate's put, this kind lady has adopted the smaller lamb. Thanks, Kate. So that's just passing information on. So that lamp really ought to be across there. And that little lamp hopefully will be attracted by the heat and the light and come and dry itself off, because can you see it's still wet through? So I think that's one David's lamb this morning. So it's not been lamb so long. Look at that. They're beautiful colours, aren't they? Right, let's have a change of scenery. Where should we go? What should we do? Should we go and see our little goats? Do the goats need feeding, Hannah? Your love? Yeah. They fed them? No way. I wanted to feed them. No, I'm only kidding. No, well done. So goats are fed. There's nothing stopping us having a look at them, is there? Right. Well, right. I'll see. Give David a ring if you need any help while I'm on this, and then yeah, I'm sure you won't. All right. So Kate's done the Airs and Waters. the main job's bedding the pens down, isn't it? So I'll come and help you with that as soon as I've done on here. Right, I'm going to wash my boots thoroughly and then I can go wherever I fancy. I might try and check in on the gelateria this morning. I'd like to catch that in full swing. Just washing my boots. Disinfectant. There we are. Right, off we go. So, signs of spring are everywhere. Did anyone watch the Friday's episode? What did you think? I watched it last night actually because I was at the White Bull on Friday night. And I enjoyed it actually. I thought it was a really good episode. I've enjoyed the we just put some straw in there that we didn't need. Dave, we didn't need any in there. No. No, I said in the communal one and the one round the corner where all the pens are. Well, yeah, but we want it around there. We wanted it. All right. I'll put that in a pen anyway. Save it for tomorrow. It'll not be wasted. Right, let's see what we can find. Have a little foray out away from the lambing sheds, and we'll cut down through here. And this is, I suppose, this is the toddler area, isn't it? And this is a bark look-alike, but it's recycled tyres. This surface, and it's very springy and bouncing along, and it's ideal for the job. So far, so good in terms of its longevity. It seems to be as good today as the day it went down, which is obviously your big worry when you're investing in something new, something that you're not used to. You think, will it last? Will it not last? And there's always a leap of faith when you try something, and thankfully, that the leap of faith has worked out because it's good stuff. It does the job. I'm sure it prevents injuries, which is ultimately the main thing. And yeah, we're very, very pleased to have it. So let's have a wander. So we've got meerkats down here. Those of you who've never been, we've got all sorts. We've got meerkats, we've got a mammal house, we've got porcupines, we've got an indoor play centre, we've got outdoor playgrounds, which would be the envy of a lot of attractions. You know, we've invested over generations, I suppose, haven't we, to turn the farm into the thing that it is today. We do a podcast. I'll show you down here. Podcast every week. And what do we say on the podcast? That we've turned a farm with 2 sheds and a barn into an award-winning tourist attraction. We've done that together, working alongside wonderful people. You know, the team that we have are the best we've had. You know, there's no doubt about it. So Falconry weekend, 26th and 27th of April. If you like birds of prey, come on down. Birthday parties. We're gaining a reputation. I think after lockdown, birthday parties sort of dwindled away a little bit, but we're really back on it now, and we're really forging a really strong reputation for a really great party. The farm shop, order online, nationwide home delivery. Visit shop.cannonallfarm.co.uk and all your delicious meat will be delivered to your door. There's a farm map. School groups. If you're involved with a school, consider us for your educational visit. The White Bull Supper Club. £28 for 2 courses, 32 for 3. You know exactly what you're going to pay. And David is absolutely loving his tea and smiling like a Cheshire cat. And then sheep shearing, 24th of May to 1st of June. Come and watch sheep being sheared at Cannon Hall Farm. So party rooms there. Is this open? No. Never mind. Right, I'll just show you the reptile house. This is one of the picnic areas around the corner. Morning, Bev. So, reptile and mini beasts. Let's have a look in here. Leaf cutter ants. Morning, Emma. How are you?
I'm good. I'm going to have to run off because I've got an experience very soon. So
Oh,
I'm going
right.
to get on feeding everyone.
Right, so you're feeding up before your experience?
Yes, I've
Oh,
got this house to do and that house.
oh my goodness. So you've got to be in 2 places at once.
Yes, but it's a fun time. I get to see all the lovely ones on the scaling.
Right.
So I can't complain.
Very good. Okay, see you later, Emma. So that's Emma, who's got to be in 2 places at once, which is never easy. But she's doing a great job. Sandra says, we all have to start somewhere, Rob. But look what you have achieved. It's a beautiful place. Thank you. Morning. Happy Easter to you all, says Judith Hilton. So let's just have a look here. Look at that. You don't want them crawling down your back, would you? Look at that one. So leaf cutter ants, carrying the leaves back to the nest tank. That one's going that way. That one's going that way. One of them's going the wrong way. Who is it? You're going the wrong way. Turn round. He's turned round. Yeah, you listen to me. Well done. So they're off on a mission, 36 metres mission of carrying their leaves across to the nest tank, which is here. I'm just tentatively going in here because I don't want to. I've got them on 4G at the moment, so it seems to be working. Caroline says, "Can we see the goats?" We can. Anne says, "Lovely to see the mammal house. It's been ages since we popped in." Yeah, I need to go in there. So these guys are on their way back to the nest tank. The nest tank is down here, and it is a labyrinth of it's like a honeycomb. That's just an example. If you washed all the soil away, do you still have Piggle? Says Nettie, we do. There's Piggle coasting along. Oh, Piggle. No, then. Yes. So right, we're in the reptile house. We've seen the leaf cutter ants. We'll not go too far in because I don't want to switch on to Wi-Fi because it tends to lose sound when I do that. So I'm just trying to be a little bit artful. So we'll go and have a look at the goats next. And then we'll swing round. I want to show you the gelato and see what you make of that. Choose your favourite ice cream. Here's Kieran. Kieran's van. So, what else? So, springtime on the farm has come and gone. We, David and I, had all will be revealed, but we went filming somewhere on Thursday, which is probably the biggest thing we've ever done. I felt the biggest thing we've ever done. You guys might think differently. You know, it felt a big deal. quite nerve-wracking. But anyway, see what you think when it comes out. I think that's going to be on the 24th of May. A TV gig. Hello, little guys. These are absolutely Nellie's favourite. She fetched 2 of her school pals up to feed them the other day, which was really nice, and they loved it as well. So, Joe says the mango sorbet is superb at the gelato. Thank you very much for that. Do you still have non-sugar options for frozen treats? I hope so, Pam. I don't really know, but I hope so. And Sandy says, good morning, Farmer Ruth. Good morning, Farmer Dale. Right. And Anne says, thank you, Rob. It's been a lovely morning. Have to dash, but we'll catch up later. And Amy says, I hope the mascarpone flavour is available when I visit. It sounds delicious. Was with fig, I think. I think you're right. I think it was. Mascarpone and fig. And these little things are absolutely stunning. Aren't you? Really? Really, really good. Chris says, morning, Farmer Rob. Happy Easter morning to you. And B says, wish I lived near the gelato. Was delicious. Only tried 3 flavours. Lemon, blueberry, cheesecake and vanilla. And Sandy says, good morning, Farmer Kieran. Yes. Good morning, Kieran. An absolute diamond. Not even in the rough. It's polished. A polished diamond. So these goats are the less frantic. Why don't you stay there? The less frantic than they would be if Hannah hadn't already fed them. So there we go. Let me just dip my feet before I head out of here. Excuse me. One second. So, let's head around here. Pigeon cooing. I'll be thinking about building a nest. Some sparrows there. Chirping away, finding some bits of seed. Sparrows used to be so prevalent, didn't they? They were so common, and now they're less so. But there are other songbirds which used to be hardly ever seen and now quite prevalent. So I suppose there are winners and losers over decades, aren't there? Nice little bit of playground, nice little bit of planting. All looks very tidy. Birds cheeping. See, this is the Santa room. This is where so many people enjoyed our Christmas experience, and we're already planning for next year's. And that's the way that the world of tourism works, isn't it? You've got to be looking at the next thing. You know, the next pumpkin festival. What are we now? Into April. It'll be here before we know it, and that's when you get to an age. It's so upsetting to see the years whiz by, but they're going to come whether you're ready or not. We might as well be ready. So it'll be my birthday soon, 57, awake. But you know, you're as old as you feel, and I feel about 92 when I wake up in the morning. But I soon get going. So this is one of the next areas that we'll be focusing our attention on. The gift shop. We can definitely make that smarter, better, more functional. We've refurbished the farm entrance. We can fire people through there. You know, if we're on our A game without any queues at all, without any waits. So that's all going well. Right. Past, present and future, Cannon Hall Farm. That's available to buy online or in store. 10 farm passes, $89.95. You can save yourself a pretty penny if you know that you're a regular visitor to the farm by booking those on our website. And Falconry Weekend on the 2nd and 3rd of August, as well as the one in April. And then look at that one, Summer Saver. If you want to buy some tickets for your family, you can save yourself a whopping 20% discount by booking them through the Summer Saver voucher code. So they're all interesting things. Hopefully there'll be things that are of interest to you. Let's see if the gelato is open, because I'd love you to see it. We're very proud of it. My son Tom has been instrumental in setting that up, and he's turned into an ice cream maker. And I suspect he might be making ice cream this morning. So we make it predominantly. It's made fresh for the day. You know, it doesn't sit in the freezer for 6 months. We try and make it fresh to use on that moment. So this is the serving window. They're the flavours to choose from. They're the prices. Oh, he's in there making. Yeah, he'll be scowling at me. So they're bay trees. That is the gelato branding. And Tom is in here making ice cream, ready to serve and to sell to customers today. So let us see. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, the door's open.
All right. The door is always open at Nonna Mia's. How's it going?
Yes, very good.
What's on the menu today, Tom?
Last batch of cream egg,
Last batch of cream egg, right?
because obviously that's an Easter.
Oh, so are you doing seasonal variations?
Absolutely.
Good move. I like your style. So Tom's making the last batch of cream egg today because Easter is coming to a close. Oh no. And I wanted to try one. Yeah. White chocolate chip, Nonna's lemon cake, chocolate, look at that, vanilla. I'm going to try one of these today. And you know what I'm going to try? I'm going to be adventurous. Guess what I'm going to try? Guess.
Adventurous.
Yeah.
Vegan mascarpone.
Vanilla.
You were being facetious.
Facetious, exactly. So, Tom, come and talk us through. Are you busy?
I'll just do this and then I'll...
All right, he's weighing some milk out, milk and cream. And then he can come and talk us through what each of the... I'm going to stay this side of the counter for obvious reasons.
I'm making the base
Fam.
for the mini egg.
Oh, you're making the base of the mini egg. What are you putting in it, Tom?
So we'll put in...
I'll repeat what you're saying and then people can hear.
We put a paste in that makes the ice cream taste like a fondant centre.
So you're putting fondant in. And he's weighing it in now. He's got to make sure it's exactly right.
And then
And do you weigh everything or do you just guess?
you weigh it.
So is it like baking? Is it a science, not a...
There's an art to the presentation and the selection of flavours, but there is a science to...
So Tom's saying it's a science and an art, but the art is mainly in presenting the ice cream in an attractive manner in these pans. Is that right, Tom?
Yeah,
Is that
and
where-
the flavour, I suppose, as well. So with cream egg, you could do lots of different interpretations of it, I suppose.
Right, so you're putting something in there for the cream egg as well. Like toffee.
So you could just have a plain ice cream for your cream egg base, but by putting a fondant, you're adding an extra level of...
So Tom's saying you could just use vanilla for your cream egg, but by putting a fondant in, you're putting another layer of complexity, another layer of flavour. And as you're licking away at that ice cream, I suppose that the key is if you can taste all the inclusions, all the flavours, then you've done a good job. Is that right, Tom?
Yeah.
So it's a bit like a restaurant dish. The people, you know, these top chefs, I watch a lot of cookery programmes because Julie loves cooking and particularly loves watching restaurant programmes. And they always say, if you've got something in that, you know, for instance, if you've got pork chops with applesauce and calvados, whatever, you need to taste all those ingredients or else they've no business being in there.
This is going to be loud for a moment while I blend, and then I'll set it going, and I'll talk you through what...
Amy says, you can't bodge it, Rob. And Yvonne says, your Tom is a lovely young man. Well, you don't know him, Yvonne. He's got a dark side. He's shaking his head. No, he is a lovely young man. Very proud of him. So he's wuzzing now. Have you ever done that and it's gone all over? So while Tom's wuzzing that, I'll just show you a little bit, and then we're gonna get an explanation from him on how the ice cream is made. But I'll show you in the decor in Nonamia's and a little bit around the thinking behind it. Nonamia is a tribute to Tom's great nana, great grandma, and who came from Naples, who met Tom's great granddad, Julie's granddad, during the war. I think they got married in Italy, I think, and then came across here to live with Bobby's mother in Midland in North Yorkshire. So it would have been a baptism of fire, you know. She was effectively, we'd been fighting the Germans and the Italians, hadn't she? The fact that Anna was, you know, she was one of us. She was obviously married Bobby, so she was more than one of us. She is one of us. So that was the story behind that. And so this is a tribute to Naples, a tribute to her. We're casting our mind back to you know, we've been lucky enough to go on holiday there, and we've tried to evoke the feeling of that holiday feel, with a lemon tree, with the pastel shades of decor, with the lighting, and obviously we're creating a great product to sit alongside what is great branding. So we would encourage you to come in here and have a selfie or a picture taken in front of on the Instagram seat. So yeah. So right, Tom, tell us what this is.
It's a batch freezer.
A batch freezer, yeah.
Really a giant version of what some of you might have in your kitchen, one of those ice cream makers. So essentially inside here, it's churning liquid mixer and freezing it at the same time. So it's adding a bit of air to give it lightness, although I should say quite a lot less air than you would have in a normal ice cream product.
Yes.
You're getting basically much more of the milk.
So it's got more integrity as a product.
Yeah, and it's obviously, you can see the size of that drum. It's small batch by its nature, so it can only really be made in small quantities. So we create a liquid mix and we pour it in here.
Yeah, and that
Make
liquid.
Sure the door's shut, by the way. That's very important.
Is it? Well,
Or you could end up with.
I doubt you'll ever let me loose on making. Well, we probably would make a nice. Me and David could have a challenge, or Richard, couldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we should do that. And then we're really just pouring this mix in.
Yeah. So that's milk, cream, and other flavourings and inclusions. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have your mix that you begin with, which has got milk, cream, sugar, and we had skim milk powder because that adds more protein content to the ice cream and it helps with the structure.
All right.
So these are going in.
So I'm saying the public side of things, but I'll try and film wherever I can. Pauline met Tom at the book launch, and he's a lovely, friendly young man. That's nice, Tom, isn't it?
Yes.
A lovely, friendly young man.
And then we're just setting this.
How old are you?
34.
34, cranky.
And really that's now going to
I've
take a
lost
few
track.
minutes to turn into gelato.
So
yeah.
So that's that.
And then obviously we extract it.
Is that freezing it now?
Yeah, so that drum is
Yeah.
going to get really cold, but it's also whipping that ice cream or the gelato to the right consistency.
So when you say, we talk about the volume of it, that's obviously the volume of those 2 tubs when it went in.
Yeah.
What will come out in the way of incorporated air to make it fluffier and whippier?
So you use really 4 litres of mix,
Yeah.
and you get about 5 litres of ice.
Oh, so you're only adding 20% volume.
Obviously, if you didn't add any air,
Yeah.
it would just be a really...
Well, it'd be a cone of
really
cream.
nice to eat.
No.
But what it does mean is that you're buying less air. I mean, it's just part and parcel of other ice creams that you can have up to 100-150% more added air. So when you kind of... You'll see when you scoop it, it's...
To summarise then, Tom, in a cheaper ice cream, you might put a tub of that in 2 litres and get 4 litres of ice cream.
Yeah, we've come to about there in terms of liquid. You might in a cheaper ice cream use about that much liquid.
Really? So you might turn it by 3 or 4 times?
Yeah.
Right. So But just so people understand, that tub there, say there's 1.5. A cheaper ice cream, 1.5 would turn into 5 litres of ice cream. Ours is 4 would turn into 5, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do need that bit there because, like I said,
Oh, no.
obviously,
It wouldn't be ice cream, would it?
for the consistency.
Yeah.
But
So,
that'll take a little while now.
right,
But
so,
while we're talking, we can have a look at the counter if you want.
yeah, you talk me through the counter. So that what we got, gelato is different to ice cream, and it's a denser, creamier, richer product, yeah?
Yeah, it's basically ice cream in the Italian tradition.
In the Italian tradition.
And some of the identifying characteristics, as you say, it's less air incorporated. It's always, real gelato is always made in relatively small batches.
Yeah.
You can't really make real gelato in a huge factory. It's kind of handmade, and that's the beauty of it.
So it's a more artisan thing.
Absolutely.
Right.
But also the milk. One of the main things that people will tell you about gelato is ice cream is that the fat content in gelato is lower.
Yeah.
So you're about 8% fat in a gelato, and ice cream, traditional ice cream that we might think of as kind of British style, 12-14% fat.
So I'll just stop you there. That ice cream, that vanilla ice cream, is only 8% fat.
Yeah, somewhere around
That doesn't sound that bad.
Because you're using a lot more milk and you're adding a bit of cream, but nowhere near as much as you would in
So it's not much different to having a glass of milk.
Well, there's other things added to it too, but what you definitely
No,
get
I'm
is
talking
more
about-
milk flavour.
Right. I'm talking about calories though, or energy.
Yeah, well, it's obviously not a health food, and we shouldn't
No.
pretend it is, but it is lighter in that sense than traditional ice cream.
So it's not a lot worse than having a glass of milk with a bit of cream in it.
That's kind of most of
Yeah.
what and then you've got obviously sugar added as part of the flavour.
Yeah.
So, for example,
I've had questions, Tom. People asking what do they do if they've got like a dietary requirement. Say, do you have anything suitable for people who can't have as much sugar, or is that something that we're going to try and add later? Or
yeah, I think so. Unfortunately, probably not at the moment. There are some mixes that kind of people have been working on that I'm aware of, but we've not really had a chance to look into further where.
So that's something that we'll try and do as we go along.
Basically, I think we would need to buy in a mix that you then hydrate, because the problem with replacing sugar is that sugar acts as an antifreeze. Essentially, it's an antifreeze agent to. So basically, if you didn't add any sugar to that ice cream mix,
Yeah.
it would set like if you put milk in the freezer, it
Yeah.
sets like an ice cream.
Yeah.
Really, what the sugar is doing, yes, it's adding sweetness, but it's also being an antifreeze, and it's meaning that the
So
texture of the
it's-
ice cream is softer.
I get you.
So you've got to be quite. There are some scientific solutions I think that have been found to make sugar-free ice cream.
Yeah.
But our standard mix can't really be that for that reason. If that makes
Right.
sense.
No,
But we'll look into it.
that's a thorough and good
Yeah.
explanation. Tom, talk to me about the sizes of these cones.
Yeah.
What's what here?
Well, you'll see in the counter,
Yeah.
instead of a scoop, we have paddles.
Paddles, right?
And this is the traditional Italian way of serving gelato. With a
And
paddle.
are you a good paddler?
I'm getting there.
Who's your best paddler in your team?
I wouldn't like to call anyone
Well, who
out.
are the better end of them?
Well, I mean, Claire, Joss, Chloe, they're all very good at paddling. So,
Right. No, you're right not to pick a favourite.
But what it means is essentially you're not getting a scoop as such, but you can fit different numbers of flavours. On
So how
these
much does
cones.
that big one cost me?
Well, you start with the small,
Yeah.
so you're 350, 450, 550.
Oh, so really then, for $5.50, you're getting a fair old daub of ice cream, aren't you?
Well, that's good for somebody that wants to try, because you can get up to 3 flavours on that colour as well.
Right, 3
So you
different
come in here and
flavours.
You say, oh wow, I don't know what to pick. Your best option is the large toe or the large
Because
toe.
I would guess, and I'm only guessing, you get more than twice as much on a big one as a little one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you really just kind of layering them up as you go. And the
Yeah.
reason we say one flavour on that is just because you don't obviously you
Yeah.
can only kind of make the.
Claire Hopwood Putt is asking, what's your favourite flavour, Tom?
So I really love fig and mascarpone, which
Fig
is
and
quite a
mascarpone.
traditional, like
Some-
Italian flavour. I really love pistachio. But what's been really popular, I would say, and they're all lovely. I would, without, and I don't mean.
Is it like asking to pick a favourite child?
Not quite that. Not quite that much of a Bueno is selling amazingly. So Bueno is basically an interpretation of, this is a white chocolate Bueno. So we've got a white chocolate and hazelnut base, and then it's rippled with a biscuit and hazelnut ripple on the top. That you can see, and that tastes very much like a Bueno.
Right. So is that your best seller?
That's the top seller.
What, better than vanilla?
Yeah, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Bueno, chocolate, caramel, and then vanilla. But cream egg is sold really well as well, because obviously people like to kind of get it while it's here.
Pistachio?
Pistachio sells well. It's about number 10 out of 20 at the moment.
So what's your hit parade then? Start with number one and coming in at number one in the hit parade this week. Yeah. Bueno's number one,
Yeah.
right?
Number 2 is salted caramel.
I suspect rum and raisin will be up there.
Chocolate's number 3.
Where's chocolate's 3? Where's salted caramel?
There next to Bueno.
Oh yeah, that looks nice. I'd have that.
And then
Chocolate's coming in at 3.
yeah, I think mini egg was 4.
Mini egg is number 4. Tom's been crunching the data on this.
Fifth, vanilla and
5th,
bubblegum.
vanilla. That's ridiculous.
And
Bubble gum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then cream egg, I think.
Where's that? Oh,
Right
there.
at the end.
Oh, cream egg. That looks nice.
And then it's mint chocolate
Yeah.
and strawberry. Though,
Mint
and
chopped
then
strawberry. Pistachio, yeah. So that's number 10. So after
I
that,
can't really remember beyond that. Probably white
where does
chocolate.
coffee come in?
Towards the bottom at the moment, but it's starting to rise. I don't know
Right.
if that's just because people are seeing more of it.
Blueberry cheesecake. That's what JB had.
Yeah, it's very nice. I like blueberries though.
Yeah.
I think as we go into hotter weather, we'll see people move more towards fruit flavours. That tends to be what happens because they're a bit more lighter and refreshing. But we've had some okay weather over the last few weeks.
Oh, for the time of year, it's been stunning, hasn't it?
Oh, I should say, I missed Nonna's lemon cake or Nonna's lemon delight, which
Yeah.
is about number 10, I think. And this is one that they created specially for the counter.
Yeah.
So it's got a layer of our lemon drizzle cake running through the middle.
So that's from the farm shop, yeah.
Absolutely. So it's got our lemon drizzle cake from the farm shop, and then the dessert is the dessert flavour. It's not just a pure lemon; it's also got something called crema antica in it, which is essentially a kind of Italian custard syrup.
Oh.
So it makes it more desserty and kind of.
I've got a complaint for you.
Yep.
It's not a complaint. Sheila Edge loves salted caramel, but it's sold out when she was there on Tuesday.
I do apologise.
Sheila,
Because the problem
he's
is-
very, very sorry.
The problem is because
Very
it's
sorry.
all homemade here. There
You
are occasions.
And he
when-
overlaid, didn't
Well-
you? You slept in.
It stands to reason, doesn't it? Saying salted caramel was the second best seller. Unfortunately, we didn't make quite enough. So I do
Tom slept
apologise.
in.
We'll try and have some for next time. If I've been doing anything recently, it's not sleeping in.
Oh,
So
I'm only kidding.
So yeah, but that is unfortunately the nature of kind of it's here today and gone tomorrow.
So-
That's also the beauty of gelato, is that it's fresh. So another thing I suppose is that potentially ice cream that other types of ice cream, and they're obviously they're tiers of ice cream in terms of quality. So I'm not disparaging all
No.
types of ice cream, but potentially your ice cream that you're having from somewhere else, it might have been there for months, which is fine. It's perfectly safe in the freezer. But what you're not getting is the absolute kind of freshest
Tom.
expression of that
Yeah.
product.
Yeah. Marlene Williams has a question. Has Nelly had one? No, she hasn't had one.
No, should have more than one.
What's Nelly's favourite flavour?
What would she like with that?
So Tom's gone from like a very well loved uncle to a very, very, very well loved uncle by starting making ice cream.
Very popular.
Yeah.
I think vanilla is pretty high up for her because she likes to add sauces and toppings and that kind of
Oh
thing.
yeah, talk about that then, Tom. You've got a topping station here, haven't you?
I'll clear a bit of
You need to side off. I've just realised this ice cream making's a doddle. Right? Because you put it in there. I'm just looking for a deck chair.
Now actually we'll get into something else ready.
Right.
Not at the moment.
I'm looking round here for a deck chair because there must be one because it's an absolute doddle.
So we have a full topping station.
Oh, look at
all
that.
sorts of different toppings that you can add.
So talk to me about them toppings. What are they?
Fudge, chocolate, chocolate popping candy,
Oh wow!
sprinkles or hundreds of thousands. You
I
might call
love.
them.
I do love popping candy.
Flakes, chocolate coated.
And how much are these? Are these a pound?
Mostly 75p.
75p?
If you get in like one of our Sundays, they are included. So
75p don't sound that bad actually to have one of them.
Make sure we give you a decent amount.
Yeah.
But if you have in one of our Sundays, then you'll have like a certain number of sauces and toppings included.
So Sundays are yellow.
Yeah. So if you know you want to have lots of toppings and sauces, you might be better on Sunday.
Yeah. So if you want to go large on inclusions, it might just be pick a pistachio sundae, a Nutella sundae, a banana split, because you get quite a lot of those included.
On a Sunday, which is just 2 scoops of whichever gelato you want. You get 2 toppings of sauce and whipped
Right.
cream. So you can kind of build your own.
So you can pimp your own. None a sundae, 2 scoops of homemade gelato, 2 toppings, 1 sauce plus whipped cream. So £7.50, which it's a considered purchase, but for £7.50, you sometimes get an awful lot less.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we'll make sure we give you 2 nice scoops of whichever flavours you want. And I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? It's we've been talking about how it's all handmade, homemade, small batches, and that does come with a small premium. But I think if you compare it to what big brands that make in
Anne Fawcett says, my grandson had the blue one, and it turned his poo green. So much so that he insisted I took photos of it. She's put I didn't in brackets. So, right. We'll put a little warning on that one then. We'll turn your poo green.
It is interesting because when I was growing up, bubblegum was never wasn't really an ice cream flavour that I remember. But now it's very popular amongst our younger customers.
And presumably, Tom, joking about, these colours will be...
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
The
there
better-
are a few colours in foods. Sometimes you'll see on the back of packets where it warns about hyperactivity and sugar.
Yeah.
And all that kind of thing. So we're not using any colours that have those kind of warnings in them.
Yeah.
Obviously, bubblegum, I don't have to tell you, is not something found in nature.
Yeah.
It is
But rest assured,
sweety flavoured kind of ice
yeah,
cream. But,
the colour will be as compliant as any colour can
oh
be,
yeah,
won't it?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing to emphasise with a lot of our other flavours, the colour comes from, it's a strawberry, for example. We're using a really high strawberry percentage paste.
Yeah.
Because we want, and you'll notice it's not like
Not the brightest
it's not
strawberry, is
fluorescent
it?
kind of pink
No.
strawberry because it's natural. Same
So-
with you've got a deeper, darker chocolate there as well. The mint is a natural mint flavour from Piedmont in Italy,
Right.
and you really taste the difference on that one. I'm going to be making some more mint this morning because, as you can see, we've
So,
not got much left.
in summary, Tom, if something looks too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing with gelato traditionally. Obviously, you can see occasionally we're rippling in brighter colours. Although, to be fair, again, that's a high strawberry content ripple that we put in the twister. But in general, you'll see a slightly more muted colour palette in the freezer compared to some ice creams.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we're using natural colours and
Yeah,
flavourings.
right. So natural colours and flavourings lead to a more muted colour
Yeah.
palette in the freezer. That's a good way of putting it, Tom.
And that is like the style of gelato, is
Yeah.
something that's a bit more natural.
But I suppose the salted caramel there gives you the chance to be less muted, and that caramel is
Well,
obviously
exactly.
a very natural
You can
thing
get
and a
that
very
colour
vivid
by
colour. Yeah.
burning the caramel just slightly to give it that, deep colour.
Deeper colour.
But we should also mention the milk that we're using because that's
Oh yeah,
important as well.
yeah. Mention the milk. Mention away.
Well, we're working with milk from the hill. Some of you, if you've visited the farm, will know that we've got a milk vending machine in the farm shop. They're our neighbouring dairy farm, so we're really proud to be supporting local dairy farms by using local milk. It's important to us, I think, that we have that kind of...
I don't think it would have the same credibility without, do you?
No, but also the same flavour and taste. Because
Yeah.
it's travelling 2 miles down the road, which I think is the right thing where you possibly can to do. But also, they've got really lovely, milk quality. Anyone that's tasted it will know it's delicious.
I think as a family, Tom, they pride themselves on the pasteurisation being longer, but slower and at a lower
it's a bit more
temperature.
flavour.
Yeah, so I know John, who is the founding father of the family. He's the senior man. and he didn't want to be involved in it if he couldn't stand behind it and say that's a really lovely milk to drink. You know, he was insistent on that, and they found a way of pasteurising that to him still kept the credibility of Green Top in terms of flavour.
Yeah. Well, I think also I'm right in saying they've got some Jersey and Jersey cattle in there as well, which gives anyone who knows that's had Jersey milk gives that extra kind of flavour dimension, rich, really delicious milk, and hopefully we're doing it justice for the ice cream. There's a lot.
Well, I've arranged with James, the proprietor, that when it's turnout time, because the cattle will be going out any time, we're going to go down and make a video of the cows going out, and so you can use it in part of your marketing material to say these are the cows that produce the milk that make the ice cream that are 2 miles away, that have got low food miles. I hope something's going wrong. Something's ready. Have you forgotten something?
No, it's ready. It's ready to be extracted.
All right.
Nothing's gone wrong.
Oh, I thought then you'd burnt it or something. Can you leave it too long, or is it just a case of you get it when it's ready?
Letting it churn and churn, it's going to get too thick.
Right.
But you can leave it for a little bit.
Judith's getting ready to go to church. Have a good one, Judith. Hope it's a lovely service. Melanie says that would be a great idea. Barbara says Tom is very knowledgeable and informative about gelato. He's certainly done his research. Marlene says, which does Dave like? David has David's a big fan of yours, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
You know, he's definitely an advocate of the thing.
So putting like an initial layer in here.
Look at that. Oh, hey, you were quick there. Fair play. Fair play. So we are watching. We're watching history being made here.
What history is that?
Ice cream history. I never thought I'd see you making ice cream.
Well, it's confounded expectations.
I didn't see this coming.
So
If you'd have said to me this time last year, you're being bounds and making ice cream, I'd have said, Gioa.
that would have been appropriate.
Yeah, an appropriate colloquialism.
So,
Pauline will be trying one when we come from Hereford today. Pauline Griffiths
excellent.
is coming from Hereford.
Might be this very batch.
Are you working today, Tom? All right, so Pauline, say hello to Tom when you arrive, and he'll know you.
So,
Ethel Greensit says the flavour of milk changes a bit when the cows go out to grass. The makeup and composition of it can change, can't it? And I suppose you've got to roll with the punches, Tom, haven't you? You've got to adapt to the seasons, and if something needs a tweak, no doubt you'll tweak it. So Tom's in his flavour larder. Oh, he's looking for something he ain't got. No, he's found it.
So, with this cream egg,
Yeah.
we're adding in something called stracciatella.
Stracciatella, flipping egg.
Stracciatella.
Stracciatella.
And it
Bernice is going to have
basically
some when she
chocolate
visits in May.
that you melt down, and as you pour it on the ice cream, it kind of forms the hard.
All right,
surface.
so it's a solid product at the moment, but and how do you do that? Microwave
It's
it?
microwave, but
Yeah.
it's a bit like that. I know there was like a sauce tradition where you get like a cracked top on the ice cream.
Right.
So it's similar to that, but there is a flavour just in gelato generally where old stracciatella works basically plain ice cream with that chocolate kind of rippled into it.
Yvonne says, my grandson Oliver loves ice cream, he will love it here. Jean says, happy Easter to all at Cannonall Farm, have a lovely day. We're still holding on to 1,900 people, Tom, which at this time in the morning, we're normally gone to less than that. So obviously people are interested in your ice cream.
I'm very pleased. And then this is crema antica. So this
And is that from Italy?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Right,
We
so
use a lot of Italian made
authentic. So is there anything about the exchange? I suppose fluctuations in currency can affect prices and costs and things, can't they?
Yeah. It's all possible, all possible impact. So what we're doing is we're creating some little wells in this first layer.
Can I call them pockets?
Yep. Or pockets.
Yeah.
and that just helps us make sure that we're rippling everything into, so you can see the colour of that. That's basically, looks like the yogurt.
Remind me of the flavour again.
Cream egg.
Cream egg, right?
So that's like simulating the yolk.
So our chocolate is melted.
And all we're going to do is take some of this and ripple it into the ice cream.
Alright, nice.
And this just means that when you're scooping, you're not just putting like all your decoration on top. You're including some in the base layer so that when you get some of the flavour.
You're not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. Well,
If you'll pardon the pun.
Someone might get a lot of flavour on the top and then someone else might not get much.
So that's why you're spreading it about so everyone gets a bit.
Exactly.
Nice.
And now after that, this is the...
Maggie says, have you enjoyed learning the whole process?
Absolutely, it's been fascinating really. The science and the art of it.
Has it been your life's calling?
Possibly. We'll see.
Wow.
Got a lot for a lot of
And have you got ideas for future recipes?
Oh, we're already working on our next
Yeah?
batch, because obviously we've got cream egg and we've had mini egg in the counter.
Don't be tight, put all that in.
All that and more will be going into
Oh,
the tandoori, but you can already see started to like set. So it goes, you
Right.
just leave it for a second, and then what it means is when you stir it around now, you get little nice tiny cracks and shards of chocolate. So we use this in our mint as well, so instead of those little like chopped chips,
Yeah?
we use this
Liquid
stracciatella.
stracciatella, right.
And so now we're just mixing, incorporating so that you get a nice bit of that flavour, and you kind of turn it over like that so that you make sure that there's plenty.
So it really, this isn't just chunk stuff in a machine
No, so
and
some
catch what
flavours
comes
are-
out, is it? This is quite a process.
Yeah, some flavours are more straightforward than others.
Yeah.
This one, there's multiple steps to it.
Janet came here yesterday and had a selfie with your dad at the selfie point. What a great picture. I had lemon and strawberry. Excellent. Kathleen says, are you going to sell it to take home in the shop? I think that's the intention, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, we've got a potting machine which hasn't arrived yet.
We bought, is it the first of its kind, direct from
Well,
Italy?
It's certainly new technology that's not been...
Yeah, it cost a pretty penny, didn't it?
Yeah, so hopefully it...
We bought it at the ice cream
hopefully it
show.
delivers.
Yeah. We bought it at the ice cream show and it's a potting machine. So instead of, because you can imagine with a spatula trying to get it into pots and messing about, and this just takes it straight from the machine, straight into pots. I suppose it's better with some flavours than others. Or would you put
Yeah.
that into a potting machine?
You need to ripple this in as you blend. You could do it because it's
Yeah.
not got like big pieces in it, so it can still run through the potting machine.
Yeah. So now we're topping up with more of the base mix. Is that right, Tom?
Yeah.
So basically capping off what Tom's incorporated with another layer of base mix. Oh, look at that is. Oh, shutting door. And it was before the horse had bolted. Well done. No, we're going again. And this wasn't a planned thing, Tom, was it, really? I just called in here on the off chance that you'd still be making.
You found me
Yeah.
by chance, maybe. So I'm just putting another
Mary
layer
says
on
good
top.
morning. Leslie says, are you going to do a coconut flavour?
We've got coconut paste just arrived in this last few days. So we're gonna
Coconut's
do,
just arrived.
something inspired by Bounty.
Oh,
We've also got
nice.
pineapple, so we're looking to do a pina colada.
Is that more for the summer, Tom?
Absolutely. Hopefully we're heading into this.
Are you getting to the latter end of it now?
So,
And do you lick the bowl? That's the question.
no, absolutely not.
Do you,
What you do is
do you get Nelly in to lick the bowl?
you open up this machine and you make sure that you clear everything out of the... There's still quite a lot more in there.
Do you get what you can out?
Absolutely. Let's not want that.
Superb. So, and there's a fashion, Tom, for building the ice cream up beyond the flat level of the pan, yeah?
Yeah, but there's lots of different ways you can present it.
You know, like this Bueno one is obviously raised well above, and you stick the Buenos in, and I suppose that's a selling point. The same with the salted caramel.
Yeah. Yeah, but there are different ways to... What's becoming quite popular now is a style called cremini, which we're going to start experimenting with.
Cremini.
Layer. Yeah.
All right.
It's flat, but you have like a layer of a sauce on the top. So there's one that you tried at the ice cream show that was...
Oh, licorice.
Licorice and blackcurrant.
Yeah.
I think it was a blackcurrant ice cream underneath with a
Yeah.
cremini layer of licorice.
I liked it.
So it had a black kind of almost mirror.
Does anyone else out there think a licorice would be a good ice cream? I know my mother would like that, wouldn't she?
Well, I've asked our suppliers, and they have them to send me some samples of...
Chris Unsworth is planning a trip now to come and test the gelato out.
Excellent.
Christina Howard has to go, but it's been very interesting and very knowledgeable.
So what we're going to do is...
And Eleanor says, OMG, that looks fabulous.
is just keep our...
And Anne Mackenzie says, very interesting now, watching how ice cream is made. So now Tom is tidying up the edges of the pan.
If that all freezes on at the sides, it's going to look messy. And once it goes in the blast freezer...
So is that the next process then, the blast freezer?
Well, we're going to put a bit more...
Are you making some more pockets?
Yeah. Whenever you're making one of these, I'm always kind of taught how the front and the back. So you'll notice I'm like scraping excess off because you pick the back. Obviously, you want the front to be absolutely... You want the bottom? I've gone a little bit too far into the mix there with that, so I'll stop with that one.
So you're putting some more of your what on then, Tom?
So this is crema antica.
Crema antica is going
Kind
on.
of like Italian egg custard syrup.
An Italian egg custard syrup. And what was this flavour again? Cream egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that you know when you go into the middle of a cream egg,
Yeah.
you obviously got.
Oh, is this a bit
white
like that?
And orange fondant in the middle. So the white fondant is in the ice cream itself. The orange is in this crema antica, and then obviously you've got the chocolate shell. To replace the chocolate shell, we're putting on this product called stracciatella,
Stracciatella.
which, as I mentioned,
I went buying cattle with Grandpa on Friday, Tom, and we bought the Young Farmers prize-winning heifer. And they gave us a cream egg
Very good.
for
Is
buying
that
it.
why I saw a cream egg in Grandpa's house last night?
Probably.
I thought, why is that here? I
Yeah.
can't imagine him eating a cream egg.
Yeah.
It's not his...
Ruth German says, my hubby wants to skip church and head straight up now for a gelato. And Janet says, must go, have a lovely day, everyone, great life. And Anna Falconer says, yes, and blackcurrant will be nice to see how ice cream is made, thank you, Tom. And Leslie says, that bowl would do for me.
So I'm just incorporating this into the...
So again, that's to make sure everyone gets a bit of everything.
Yeah. And then...
So that chocolate's already in shards, isn't it? I can see by the way it's
Yeah,
breaking there as you move
You
it.
can hear the like crackling of it, which is quite satisfying. So we're just gonna tidy off there, and then we're gonna form a bit of a island in the middle of the pan. And just tidy that up. And then the pressure comes because it's the bit that I'm still learning to get good at.
What's that?
Which is making the presentation at the front. So essentially, you kind of want to be wicking around to get...
So really then, what you're saying is this is aesthetics, but the ice cream is the ice cream,
Yeah.
and you'll get better at that in time.
Yeah, but actually that one's alright.
So you've done that well. Happy with that?
You want to create these ridges, just
Yeah.
from a presentational point of view, but what I'm going to do now is put this in the blast freezer, which
Yeah.
is running at about -40, and it's going to set that in. So it's going to set that shape and get it really cold, and then we can decorate the top. Like
All right, yeah. So this is, you're now stabilising your product by putting it in the blast freezer.
Basically just a really cold cupboard.
Is it like a good keeping pantry?
A what?
One of my dad's aunties once said she got a very good keeping pantry. It's like it's meant to be. It's instead of a fridge before you had refrigeration.
It's not that handy cupboard though.
No, a pantry is where people kept things like meat. You know, generally tend to be in a cellar, away from light.
Again, you're just creating some bridges there. There's people that can do an even more dramatic job of that than I can. But I'm getting there. I ain't got the background in cake decoration that some of our other colleagues do. So just say to Diane and Joss in particular who've been...
Diane's worked in a bakery, hasn't she?
Yeah.
And Joss obviously worked in our bakery.
Absolutely. So, I'll just take these over here. Allow me to clean down.
I want to be a washer up.
That's me as well, you think.
All right.
So, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything that would not do anyone serious than I don't do myself. So by now, obviously, if I wasn't concentrating on talking through, I'd have had like the mix going.
Yeah.
So you try and get yourself into
A flow.
a rhythm.
Yeah.
So some mixes are more complex than others. So when we make strawberry, it's a lovely flavour, but if I'm honest, it's simpler to make because you get a really nice concentrated.
Question here, Tom, from Barbara. Is it gluten free?
So there's quite a few that the majority are made without any gluten-containing ingredients.
Yeah. So we can give an assurance around non-gluten containing ingredients, but obviously it's an environment that.
I mean, the only thing, we have to emphasise is that everything's made in this one machine.
Yeah. So if you've got an acute gluten intolerance, it's not for you.
Yeah, someone would need to make a decision on that. But what we do, what we can say, even down to like the biscuit crumbs that we use in the blueberry cheesecake, they're gluten free.
All right.
They're kind of rice flour based.
So really, then, when someone arrives, talk to the person in charge, and we'll see what we can do. Yeah.
We can talk you through what the ingredients we use.
Yeah.
It's just difficult when you buy products. Quite a few manufacturers will say may contains X, Y, or Z.
Yes. So it's not just what we do; it's what the person making the product does.
And often that's because they're using those ingredients in the same factory.
Yeah.
So it's tricky because we know because obviously Mum is celiac.
So it's more of a. Sometimes it's more of a theoretical.
We've got all the information to help customers make an informed choice about what to order.
Very good.
I think that's the important thing.
Yeah, that's right. Right then, Tom. I'm going to press on and we'll have a quick look in the farm shop. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. Very interesting. It's gone down very well with the viewers. I can see it has.
Thank you for calling in at Nonna's. You're always welcome.
Yeah. So and don't forget when you come to Nonna's, get a selfie and share it on your Instagram and in fact all social media feeds. Is that right?
We can hopefully see some of you today.
Right. See you later, son. Bye bye. So there we go. You've seen it at first hand. We've just been making ice cream, and hopefully that's something that will go down well in the future at Cannonall Farm. I can't see why it won't. I think it's had a strong start, and I can only see it getting busier and better, and going from strength to strength. So we'll just have a quick scoot round the farm shop, and then we'll say cheerio. We'll see what's happening in here. We'll see what. Don't forget, if you're visiting the farm and you haven't time for a sit-down meal, the pork sandwiches are amazing. Served with roast potatoes as standard. We are making our own raw dog food, so we're branching out in loads of different directions, and hopefully people will be liking what we're doing. We've got a big 3 for $15 range. I'm going to have some of them for my tea tonight. Salt and pepper chicken wings. Right, this is how to cook them. Put them in a tray with a bit of water. under them or around them, so it's a moist environment, and just braise them low for a long time, just to tenderise them, and then just put them in air fryer to crisp up the skin. Absolutely stunning, right? And I think I'm going to have some tandoori chicken breasts as well. Tandoori chicken breasts, I've got one of them at home. So that's my tea. A chicken medley. So, Thai stir fry, barbecue spare ribs, Chinese spare ribs, Chinese pork kebabs, lamb and mint kebabs, we've got lamb shoulder. We've got a cracking range of all sorts. Morning, Nige.
Morning.
You alright?
Yeah.
Tandoori chicken kebabs, love them. Black bean stir fry, burgers. Is it too cold for a barbecue? I don't think it's ever too cold for a barbecue. So, and then we've got a cracking fish range. Look at that. Cod loin, tuna steak, samphire, mackerel, smoked salmon, sea bass fillets, more salmon. You know, absolutely beautiful. And good for you. So, right, let's have a look round here. Ready meals. Homemade garlic mushrooms, 25% off. Grab them while you can. Irish lamb stew. Homemade butter chicken curry. Beef dinner, winner, winner. And oranges. Scones. Tea cakes, sausage rolls, pork pies fresh this morning, straight out the oven, cooling on the back, more pies, sweet stuff, look at that. You're alright? Morning. Look at them. So, and then more stuff here. Orange juice machine. Right, I'm going to get back up to the Roundhouse. I've been longer than I thought I would. So I hope you've enjoyed the broadcast this morning. We've done all sorts, haven't we? We started off with a live lambing birth, and it's ended up making ice cream and a whiz round the farm shop. So from Farmer Robert Cannonall Farm, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. And in fact, I don't know if are we on again tomorrow or not. I don't even know. Probably are on again tomorrow. Anyway, if we are, I'll be there. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. See you all soon. Bye bye.